another video. I'm doing another high contrast balayage on this one today. I'm actually going to do a very bright money piece on this one and then a blended balayage towards the back. So she wants to be pretty bright this time, and we'll also be adding extensions later on in the future. So we're getting her ready for that. So I'll show you guys the process. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is my lovely client Crystal, and I've already separated her hair into sections. So we're going to do the Mohawk section up top because we want this to be very blended once it grows out. And then we do the two side sections and then the big back section. I'm actually going to start in the back because I just like to start in the back because that way this has a little bit more time to process, and I do use a lower developer as I go. So I'll start with like a 10 volume developer, and then once I get to the sides I'll go up to like a 20 volume, 25, and then at the top I'll do like a 25, maybe a little bit of 30, but this gives me a little bit more time for the back to process. That way it kind of all processes evenly and I get a nice even result. So I'll start with the back first. And because we do want this to be mostly blonde, I'm going to do quite a bit of highlighting, so almost like back-to-back slices, and I will do back-to-back slices and kind of tease it so that we get a really nice blend.
Don't know, worries on our heads, 'cause we're very bad.
All right, on this front section, what I'm actually gonna do is take diagonals, and I'm gonna take diagonal slices, and I'll actually be teasing this as well because again, I want maximum blend at the top. So I'll be taking slices diagonally like this with a higher end toward the front. And then once I get closer to the top, I'll start weaving again, baby lights. That way we get a nice blend at the top so that when her hair does part and it does fall and it grows out, it's going to be a nicer blend, so it blends better with her natural root as it grows out. So this is our final section. We're gonna work on this mohawk right here. So what I'm gonna do, because I do want the money piece to be the brighter piece, or actually I call it the money piece, but it's this face framing piece. This is gonna be the brighter piece, and we're gonna actually make it a little bit wider than I usually would because we want it to really stand out. So I'm actually gonna take, because her hairline does kind of go around right here, I'm actually gonna do like a V parting. So I'm gonna take two sections right here and two slices right here. And then I'm going to do a middle slice across that, and then I'm going to do back to back and really teasing that area because I want to get really blended. And then I'll probably do two teasy sections or two teasy slices, and then a baby light, and then two teasy slices and a baby light until I get to the very back. On this section, lean your head down a little bit. On this section, I do go, when I get closer to the hairline, I do go with my brush vertically because I don't want to apply too much lightener. but I want to blend it as much as possible. You have to be careful when you're doing a balayage or a foliage on dark hair, because you don't want to get any sort of bleeding up at the top, because then you'll have splotches and it's super noticeable when you have that on dark hair. So you want to make sure to be very careful when you're doing up at the top of the foil. So make sure that you're taking very clean sections, clean partings, because you don't want to have any bleeding, any splotchiness at the root of the hair, because then it's just going to give you an ugly result, and you'll have to do some correcting at the end by adding, you know, like a shadow root or anything like that. I'm trying to avoid having to do a shadow root by doing all the blending beforehand. So now I'm going to take this piece, which is the top of the triangle section right there. You can see it's sort of a triangle. So I'm going to just go straight across, and I'm actually going to tease this whole section just so that I get a nice blend, but I still have a lot of lightness toward the root, because I want this front piece to be the big attention grabber. She has curly hair, so it's pretty easy for me to tease it. You do want to be gentle on the hair, not too rough, because then you don't want to get any breakage. If you do have somebody with very thick hair or very silky hair, just be careful. And if you need to, you can add sort of like a dry shampoo beforehand to give you some texture. That way you can tease it a little bit easier. And it makes it a little bit easier for you to do the teasing. Notice as well, I'm applying the lightener in the center first, and then I drag it down just so that it helps my foil stick. And then I'm going to go upward. This gives me a nice blend so that I don't have too much lightener at the top. Most of my lightener will be on the thicker part of my slice. If you need to, sometimes if I have a little bit of lightener up here, if you can see that, then just kind of brush that out with your comb. And then you can even take your finger and just kind of smooth that out if you have any little spots right there. Okay, so now I'm just going to continue to take these sections, and I'm just going to go slices across. On these first parts, I am going to be actually weaving on this first one because I did a full slice right here. I'm actually going to weave this one and then tease it and then apply the lightener. And the other ones I'll take full slices and tease it and do the lightener and then weave, okay? completed, as you can see. So now I'm gonna wait for about 20-25 minutes because she does process pretty quickly. We've done her before. I know that her hair is pretty fine and it processes very quickly. So I'm just gonna be checking back like every 5 minutes just to see if it's ready. That's super important because you don't want her hair to get compromised in any way. You want to make sure that it stays healthy. So I actually checked the back ones already and they're already processing very nicely. So I'm going to show you that. Here's the one that I kind of opened a little bit. So that already looks really, really nice. I do want it to get just a tad bit lighter because we are going pretty icy blonde. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, and then if these back ones are ready, I'll go ahead and pull these out and wash the back of her head first. That's why I start on the back first. That way, if this needs to be washed out, then I can, and I won't get any water on the front ones. So I'll wait for a little bit, check these again, and then I'll come check these front ones and see how those are doing, and then I'll show you guys. Okay, we are back. She has finished processing, so I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. I want her to get her to a really, really pale light yellow so that we can really get it on a nice and icy blonde color. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. It's a very nice pale yellow there. And then here's her front piece, which is also very nice. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. And these are the last foils that we did. These ones that are a little bit further back. But those are exactly what I was wanting. A very nice pale yellow, like the inside of a banana is what you're looking for. And so now I'm gonna go in and apply her gloss, and we'll leave that on for about 25 minutes just to make sure that we do cancel out any gold or yellow tones that are left and give her a nice, pretty, like icy blonde color. So I'll show you guys what that looks like after I've applied the gloss. This is the hair wet after we've already glossed it and washed it. So this is what we're looking at wet, a very nice blend from root to ends. So we're gonna go ahead and blow dry her and style her, and then we'll show you the final result. All right guys, and this is our finished result. Super cute. We gave her a nice blowout so it's nice and voluminous and bouncy. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. So pretty. So let me turn her around. Ooh, so pretty. And we did do it where it's parted down the middle, so it's very symmetrical because I did that Mohawk section. So this way, if she parts it down the center, she'll get a nice balanced look on both sides. And if she decides to part it down the side, she'll also have, like, it'll also look pretty that way because she'll get lots of blonde all over, but it's still going to look very blended on the sides. So that's the side part. She does kind of like to switch it up sometimes, so that's why we did it that way for her. And then if she does pick it up, it's very blended that way. If she does put it up. So lots of options for her with this color. What do you think?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's so pretty. So nice and blended. Tilt your head a little bit. And if you notice, most of the blonde is toward the bottom, but we do still have some blonde up here. That way she does have some brightness at the top, but it's not overwhelming, and it'll still give her that very natural grow out. So if she decides to, what's nice about this is if she decides to brighten up a little bit, but she likes the rest of it, then we can always just retouch this, the front piece for her. So that'll just give her the effect of full brightness without having to go in and do all over. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed.